With how good this season is shaping up to be, there are a massive amount of anime worth your time, so I'm here to vouch for one that I believe should be on your must-watch list. For the should you watch episodes of 1am anime, I take a look at the first 3 or so episodes of a new series, tell you its basic plot, what to expect, some pros, and if they're big enough, some cons, followed by my general opinions. I try not to give away any major plot points unlike the normal 1am anime reviews, but be warned for minor spoilers. In this futuristic world, high schoolers are put into randomly selected teams and flown out to a nearby planet for an exercise training camp. A bunch of teenagers alone with no adult supervision may sound like a horrible idea, but hey, what do I know? Every group is given a different extra challenge, and our character's group must also look after a child. Kitaru brings her 10-year-old sister along, and god is she ever an awful older sister. Or person in general, really. Anyway, our group heads out on their peaceful adventure when they encounter a strange glowing orb that's floating slowly towards them. Of course, being a teenager who thinks they'll never die, one of them decides to touch it and the orb proceeds to eat all of them, transporting them into deep space near a planet they've never seen. Thankfully, there's an abandoned spaceship nearby and all the students climb aboard. After taking count, they realize the new girl Ares is missing, floating in space with no fuel and no way to communicate. Our main character, who is basically Seth from Radiant, stages a rescue mission to save Ares. When he was younger, Kanata lost his teacher during a class trip. There was a landslide accident and his teacher lost his life. His last words to Kanata were to always act tough when things get difficult. Kanata has taken up his teacher's dream and wishes to be a space explorer with his own ship, and he decides to become the captain of this new group to bring everyone home safe. With only a few days of food and water available, they plot a route home spanning multiple planets to restock and make it back. During their travels, they'll need to learn to defend themselves and learn how to navigate multiple new planets to fuel their trip. Along the way, they might even learn why the orb attacked them and who might be trying to kill them. Let's start off with the pro section with one of the more obvious ones. This is a Studio Lurch production, so as usual, it looks stunning. Personally, they're my favorite studio, even if I can't actually pronounce their name properly. The characters all have very distinct character designs and a main color, so there's never really a time where you're scrambling in the middle of some action trying to figure out who's who. One thing you'll notice is that every character has one very pronounced personality trait, and they feel similar to Black Clover characters in that sense. In the first 3 episodes, although you get some backstory on most characters, they can just be chalked up to, oh, the shonen protagonist, oh, the clumsy one, etc. The mix of action, mystery, and space fantasy is very appealing, and with it being animated by the gods over at Studio Lurch, it's an extremely enjoyable watch. And today, or well, actually a week ago from when this gets posted, Funimation is starting its simuldub, and if you're like me and prefer watching action anime dubbed, the cast is filled with talent and I can only assume it will be great. Side note, I have now watched it and it is great. So overall, should you watch Astra Lost in Space? If sci-fi action with a large dose of mystery is your thing, then I would highly recommend it as a potential best show of the season. Thanks for watching. Check your screen for the 1am anime playlist and a video YouTube seems to think you'll dork out over. Or check the description for anything else you need. Well, peace weebs.